Mm. Hello, hello. Welcome to Self Love Friday. Um, this is the second Friday of January, but my first Friday back doing Self Love Friday. So, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for being here, wherever you are, wherever you're coming from. Welcome to my living room, welcome to my couch, and welcome back to Self Love Friday. It's good to see you and to know that. And let's talk about self love, shall we? Well, before we get um, I have had an interesting time with technology. I did promise myself that I would take some time off at the end of the year before starting the new year. And little did I know that technology would work with me by working against me. So Self Love Friday stopped a lot sooner than I thought it would stop last year. So thank you so much for being back here now. I tried to go on a few times in December, and it just seemed that the technology gods decided with the universe that Diana would have a break from doing Self Love Fridays in December. For the whole of December, I thought it would only be 1 or 2 weeks, but it ended up being a number of weeks. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for bearing with me. And for those of you who did try to watch me, I'll let you know that I did try to come on quite a few times in the beginning of December, and it just didn't work out, just didn't pan out at all. There were a few people who were with me in that struggle, and you know what? I just said, okay, I've made the effort, and it didn't work out, and I decided not to fight against whatever was supposed to be happening, and so I let go of it. So welcome back. I'm really, really pleased to be here. I am back in my own space. It does feel good to have a semi-stable Wi-Fi, although Wi-Fi all over the world is challenged at the moment. As I said that, my Wi-Fi went a little bit unstable, but you know, here we are anyway, forging ahead. Erin, welcome, welcome. Erin says sometimes a break, time to recuperate and collect new thoughts is just what you need. Exactly, exactly, my darling. I actually spent 3 of my 4 weeks away from home with Erin, and it was absolutely wonderful. The first week away from home was spent with a friend of mine doing Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny, which was an absolutely life-altering experience. Shook the foundation and what do I really want, and am I on the right path to getting there? And so that was an experience. It was really, really special and so wonderful to be able to share it with one of my closest friends, Olga Gedan. So thank you, Olga, again. You know how much it meant to me. And then straight from there, from doing Date with Destiny, I rushed home for one night only, packed my suitcase, and jumped in the car to go and visit my daughter and her dad and his partner. Very interesting. Um, and my holiday and my break, as Erin says, my time to recuperate and collect new thoughts, started almost immediately because I was kind of winding down. And you're right, Erin, I have collected new energy, new thoughts, new ideas, more to share. So I really hope that it's where I was for my 3 weeks. I still had a couple of things to wind down. I had the end of the Glow program, the last Glow program of 2020. I had a couple of one-on-one sessions with clients because there were some days where I just couldn't get online for anything, which was great. And I must tell you, when I arrived in Northern Ireland, and he and I are really, really close. We just adore each other. Since we met when he was about 2 years old, it was just like an instant love affair. We absolutely adore each other. And when I saw him, when I arrived, he howled like a wolf. He literally tilted his head back and howled. Ahoo! And anyone who knows me, guess what my response was? Apparently they don't howl at the moon. My friend was telling me the other day. So we just howled. We howled. And it felt so good because it was fun. It was funny because people just don't just my joy with this 8-year-old boy. And he just ignited my 8-year-old inner child. And it from times in the 3 weeks that my adult self kicked in. And I just want to welcome JJ UK and Cherise. Welcome, welcome. JJ says definitely, especially since lockdown began and we are all working from home, people feel that it doesn't make sense to take a break and have a staycation. Yes, JJ, it does. Just cutting off and reconnecting with self and with your people who are actually in your inner circle is so very important. So yes, I agree with you. It is hard enough to draw that, to chat it about. So back to that. So the holiday began with this like playfulness and this sense of fun. But now so there was so much joy and there was so much excitement. And then it was so interesting to watch as so much of my old programming started kicking in. My as Don Miguel Ruiz calls domestication. So my domestication started again. I'd be in the midst of having fun, and really having a joyful experience. I'm like, no, you shouldn't be doing this. You should be doing that. And I'd maybe get a bit snappy with Western or growl at Erin instead of a smile. And what was so interesting for me, I think, especially coming, being able to observe that every time I got into this play mode and this fun mode, there was my inner critic saying, should you really be doing that? Mode while we were there. And of course, the howling started with Weston and I. We were the first two people awake in the house most days. And the day that it snowed was just such a beautiful experience. How quiet it gets when it snows. The whole world seems just quiet. And I was awake and meditating and doing my journal work and just watching the snow, excited about the snow, but also in a quiet way. And he just me on my lap and we snuggled up in a blanket and we were watching the snowfall and it was just delightful. But of course that couldn't last, not with the two of us and the snow. I mean, that was crazy to think that day would stay quiet. So pretty soon we went and got on all our layers over our pajamas, woke Erin up because it was too exciting. We had to wake one of Erin's Christmas presents. So it was she got a beautiful longboard skateboard for Christmas. So the box was nice and long enough and turned it into a little sled for Weston. And I was dragging him around down the driveway and we were having so much fun. Even in that moment, I found this inner critic voice, the domesticated voice, the adult grown-up voice would pitch in and go, your dressing gown's going to get tea if you keep throwing snowballs at each other. Constant wanting to cut off the playtime because it was almost scary. It was almost too liberating. Cherie says, we are never too old to have fun. Absolutely, Cherie. Was to realize, do I play anymore? How do I play? So I started questioning myself. As the universe would have it, I was also listening to a series by Brené Brown called The Power of Vulnerability at the same time. And one of her signposts, she talks about wholehearted living and wholeheartedness. So of course, I was busy watching myself have these experiences. And she quoted Stuart Brown. I'm not sure, I'm actually listening to it a second time now because I really wanted to get it in me. It might be her husband, I think it is. But Stuart Brown identifies play as, and she loves creating definitions, as do things, and thinking they need a good definition, a good juicy definition, not just the dictionary definition. And then she goes on to say that playtime, adult play, is in this process creates a clearing where ideas are born. So then the challenge really got big because I thought, wow, I enjoy so much of my life. I love what I do. I love the people in my life. I love the conversations I have. I love personal growth. I enjoy everything about my life, just about everything. And then I was challenged, but how much of it is actual playtime? So as much as I enjoy it, completely losing track of my own self-consciousness, where I'm just being and just letting go and enjoying, howling, for example, throwing my head back and howling, those moments where my spirit is completely free and it was quite daunting for me to realize that I've been playing less and less, in as much as I enjoy my life and I enjoy everything I do. So I started thinking, okay, what do I do for play? When do I lose track of time? When do I lose track of any sense of self-consciousness? And I did come up with a few things. Thank goodness, because I had a bit. I still play with people. So I have very playful friendships and other relationships, such as my one with Weston. Yes, he's 40 years my junior, but we have a fantastic relationship that sparks fun and playfulness. Yes, my inner critic comes sometimes and shuts. Should we never more fully alive, more completely ourselves, or more deeply engrossed in anything than when we are at play? Exactly, Cherise. That's exactly the point I think that Brene Brown makes. When we step out of any sense of what should be happening, and we just go into true sense of self. I agree. They're not conscious in their lives. They ride the journey with no intent. Yes. Interesting. And now I'm getting really warm. So socks are off. So yes, intent. And I was chatting with a friend of mine yesterday about the word, about being meant to do life intentionally. Great things are achieved. So yes, I came up with my people, my tribe, my wolf pack. We have fun together. I have met people. However, we do know a lot of sad people can be time. I mean, a lot of my funniness can come from tough times that I've had. So I could be in a really tough time and still come across funny. So what did I come up with? I came up with one of my main things, and this is a bit of a surprise at first, but then when I unpacked it, not so much. One of my main things is music. If you have to ask me if I'm a musically inclined person, I would say no. However, my new answer, yes. I love music. Singing, I am one of those diehard karaoke fans, and I will create a karaoke in my car, in your car, in my kitchen, in your kitchen, anywhere where there's fantastic music playing. I love that release. That vocal release is huge for me. I guess that's why Westy and I Howling at the Moon made so much sense. The other thing that came out of music for me was dancing. Louise, I know you're an ex-dancer, so you understand the absolute joy of dancing and how you can lose yourself. I have never done dancing in any kind of official capacity. I was a very, very sad child ballerina for 2 or 3 years in my childhood. It just didn't pan out. I'm not built for ballet. However, I'm built to thrash about and throw my body about in ways that make sense to me when there's fantastic music playing, or music that I think sounds fantastic. But that came out in a big way for me. Music, singing and dancing to music. And then art. I really lose track of time, and I really lose track of myself and my canvas in front of me, and a whole lot of paints and Sharpies and waxies and whatever else is available, paper and glue. I don't know what I want to create. I just get in there and I roll my sleeves up and I jump in and I lose myself. It's amazing. So those are mine. That's not a lot. It's not a lot of things, but I do have things. So things like my walking. I love walking. I realized I don't actually lose myself in it. I have a route that I take, or I have a few options of routes. I mean, the fact is, I would love to do what Forrest Gump did and just kind of run around the earth. However, my life doesn't really allow for that. I choose not to at this stage. Okay, so I have loops, I have routes that I end up coming home. I don't lose myself in it. I do. What I realized as well is that I lose myself in yoga. I lose sense of time. Yesterday, I got on the mat to do a half-hour yoga session, and I realized when I finished and rolled my mat up that I'd been on for 1 hour and 5 minutes. I was like, oh, okay, so much for that half an hour. Because I really get into it. I really lose myself in that beautiful, beautiful space. So that for me is actual play. How wonderful. But I'm still questioning myself. And what I've said is, as much as I've been really, really bringing my self-love work to the fore and bringing it to the public through my Glow program, through my coaching programs, and working with it with people, I realized that there are a few areas where I might need to just work a little bit more for myself and give myself a bit more playtime. Playtime was one of them. So Cherie says, don't spell or read about playtime, feel it. Like you said, through yoga, art, dancing, etc. Exactly, exactly. Don't read the word, don't think about it. Don't even let the word sit in your head. It needs to sit in your heart. This is where playtime happens. Here, it has to be felt. Absolutely, Cherise. That is so, so key. So, with me, touching on all these, one of my intentions for the year is one of my intentions for every single year is to love myself more and to love myself better. So, this year, I am dedicated to singing more and dancing more. And that is going really well. Yoga, I don't really need to push because I'm on my mat every single day. So, short of becoming a full time yoga instructor and turning my life journey into that, at the moment, there's enough yoga that's keeping me joyful. I don't know if you call it a jam session when it's voice, when it's vocal, but we had a session, we had a singing session together when I was there in Northern Ireland in the bathroom. So the acoustics were amazing. Um, that bathroom has like a slopey roof on the one side, slopey ceiling. And that was probably on the 2nd or 3rd of January. So off to a good start. And I've been singing every day since then. And boy, am I feeling refreshed and revived. And this playtime thing is really, really working for me. I've also started creating some more art. I've spoken to a few friends who are doing similar things. So very interesting how often so many of us in the same wolf pack can be congruent and on the same path. So I know that a lot of us are connecting with the side of ourselves. What are you playing with at the moment? Are you finding you forget time and you just make sure that you can slot more time into your calendar as we enter into this year for those things? On a little closing note, another area that I like to play and I forget myself in is that sort of thing. So today I played a little bit more and I went digging in my drawer of fun things and I found this pendant. It might seem like a waste of time when I'm faffing around in my bedroom for 20 minutes doing nothing but color coding my outfit. But you know what? Losing that time is the best loss of time because that's when I'm connecting with my inner child, playing, and by doing so, loving myself. So, as always, I challenge you think about how you can love yourself more. Think about how you can love yourself better. Are you giving yourself playtime? Is your inner child getting a chance to feel and experience true joy and moments of timelessness? So, let me leave you with that today as I encourage you to love your body, love yourself, and love your life. And the love will just flow from you into everything. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. I absolutely love being back. And I look forward to seeing you every Friday at 1 p.m. Ciao for now. Mwah. See you soon.